Well, I opened the show and closed the show because I wanted to see again what in the world they were going to do with Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns in that situation. And then also I wanted to watch the main event because my boy Braun was in it. We'll get to that. But again, I'm telling you right now, these fucking foreign crowds, I know they all think they're Pavarotti or whoever the fuck, but the opening of Raw after they recapped the pay-per-view and what went on was Roman and the Usos making their entrance, and the building was packed. No stage, just the small entranceway, the narrow aisle.
Did you see Roman doesn't carry the belt with him? When he got out of the car, some, guy ran off from the side and handed him the belt.
Yeah, because apparently he's, got stooges to hand him the belt. That's what I don't know. But that's the point. This whole thing is he's heelish. They're not heelish. They're the heels. Him and the Usos, the way they've interacted with Jacob Fatu, they're the heels. But when he comes to the ring between the walking and the chanting and the singing, and then him milking the chanting and the singing. Brian, do you know how long it took from the time they started their entrance until he spoke his first word? How long was it? Take a guess.
6 minutes.
7.5 minutes. And it may be fun for the arena, but it's getting old to watch it on television. And then he did the acknowledge me, and they got more chants out of it. So it was really 8.5 minutes till he started the promo, except then they started chanting a little bit more, and then Jay took the microphone. And all Jay said was, you see, Roman, the first day on the job, and Jacob's already late. And then they turned and watched the entranceway for Jacob's music. And he made his entrance. And he was dressed like a mechanic. It looked like Colt Cabana when he wore the fucking oil change overalls with his name and pro wrestler on the fucking thing. And by the time that Jacob got to the ring and they did some more singing and chanting, 11.5 minutes after the start of the first entrance, they finally started speaking to each other. And then the story. Roman and Jay both told Jacob, you know what time it is. You know what's going on. You got to do this now. And Jacob even went up to Jay and like he was pissed at Jay, and Roman had to say, I'm over here now. And then Jacob cut the promo. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what would happen if I lost, but I've been taking L's all my life. Taking L's brought me here. That's a funny way to back into a goddamn. And so that's why I wrote, are they trying to make the Samoan werewolf a sympathetic underdog here? And then Jacob admitted to Roman that he beat him in front of the world and in front of his children. He said, I lost to my tribal chief, but I didn't lose to your punk ass, Jay. But Roman, I acknowledge you. And then he took a knee in front of Roman and reached up to him. And the crowd was chanting, OTC, OTC. And when Roman took his hand and shook Jacob's hand and pulled him up, they cheered. They cheered the babyface admitting that the fucking heel was a better guy and joining the people that have been wanting him to be under their thumb. I don't understand. And then Roman said, Jacob, you don't understand this all now, but I love you. This condescending motherfucker. And they all raised the one finger, including Jacob. In 8 18 minutes, 11 and a half of which was people walking to the fucking ring.
There's a plane going overhead, but let me just say, Roman again, super over. These fans were not just singing, they were jumping and dancing. But then again, they also did the exact same thing for Jacob and just about everyone else who they knew who was on the card. Roman in the past, I've always, with the Bloodline at its peak, I thought he was so good in that role.
Yes.
I don't buy him in it anymore. It's kind of like, this isn't the best example. I'm trying to think of a better one. Like season 1 Happy Days, Fonzie, you kind of bought. Towards the end, when Henry Winkler was like 40 years old or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the thing, in the Bloodline, as the heel, as the guy on top, legitimately that everything was focused around, this whole story worked. But once they dissolved the kind of thing where everybody went their separate way and Roman is kind of taken as a baby face, and he's not the guy anymore. He can't really say he's the guy. He wants to maybe be the guy again. But just them going, and I know Jay had a shelf life as the Yeet guy, and Jimmy was, poor Jimmy. Get them back together as heels. I understand it. I don't. But again, Roman just is not. He doesn't have an exciting fucking. We can't just all slow down for Roman anymore. Things are happening now. The Bloodline was the thing you slowed down for. There's more exciting shit going on now. Very slow. Slow is a word I'd use, Brian. Slow.
Yeah, and that opening segment took forever, and the fans sang, and there was a lot of just nothing happening. Roman, I think, is just so much stronger when Heyman or someone else was doing the talking for him mostly. But what else did you see on Raw? There were other things. Obviously, they referenced that. I think Roman, there was a clip, it may have been from the pay-per-view, after the pay-per-view of Roman telling Jey Uso, now you go get the other world title. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. But what else did you see?
Yeah, good luck with that.
There's an app called Bigo Live, and believe it or not, pretty girls message you first. You never know when you'll meet someone